Welcome back, YouTube. I'm about to show you how to get stronger kicks just by simply pivoting your foot and turning your hips over. Let's get into it.
Ninja Carter, show me the way of a ninja.
Let's start with the basics first. Round kick. The importance of round kick, you have to pivot your foot and you have to turn your hip over. Now, I may explain this before in other videos doing certain things, but like I said, this is going to be real technical. It's going to be a really quick video, I promise. Let me get straight to the meat and potatoes. So look, with a round kick, you want to pivot your foot. So if I'm here, you cannot get power out of your kick. Even if you're turning your hip over and not pivoting your foot, you're going to hurt your knee. Okay, you have to pivot your foot over. Like in certain martial arts, let's say Muay Thai, they step with the foot. So with Muay Thai, they may step out and then do their swing round kick, right? Taekwondo, they may not step out. They may just come here and come straight up. So I'm showing you the importance of these things. Like you can do leg day all you want and build up these massive, strong legs. But in martial arts, that means nothing if you don't know how to pivot or turn your hip over. So for an example, I'm gonna make an example right here. If I'm doing a round kick, right? And I'm gonna try to do this without hurting myself. If I do a round kick and I don't turn my foot over, but I turn my hip over, okay? Now, I'm not doing that with as much power because I don't want to hurt my knee, but you can see the difference. Like, yeah, I'm hitting the bag, but it's not a lot of power. Now, when I pivot and bring my knee up and turn my hip at the same time, is going to be totally different. Like I said, and I want to hit the bag. I don't want to push the bag. So that's the difference just in the round kick. So let's go for another. Let's say thrust kick. Thrust kick is a lot of people's favorite too. So let's say with thrust kick, you're probably asking the question like, okay, well, with thrust kick, you're not turning your hip over and you're not pivoting. True, but you are pushing your hips forward, okay? So in Muay Thai, like I said, Muay Thai, let's say if I'm doing like a thrust knee, okay? Notice I'm using a thrust knee for an example so you can see that my hip is actually moving. So I'm going here, okay? Or in this time, like that. But sometimes you can do it like this, and then you can do it to where you push and you extend, okay? So that's just with a thrust knee. Now with a thrust kick, I'm doing that, I'm pushing my hips forward, but my knee is coming up and I'm extending out, okay? So I'm here, like that. And thrust kicks really don't take much effort. I mean, because your body weight is really, especially if you step into it, like let's say if I go like, let's say if I do a running start, or if I can just start right here and I can just go like, I can just step into it. Notice like when I'm doing it, I'm going here, and I'm pushing my hips forward. I'm driving my hips forward. So I get that extension. So I get that reach. Okay. So that's a thrust kick. Like I said, yeah, I'm not turning my hip over. Yeah, I'm not pivoting my foot, but I am pushing forward. Okay. So now with another one, let's say hook kick. Hook kick. Let's say I want to hit this side of the bag right here. I'm going to do it on the left side. So I want to pivot my foot. So here, I'll make sure you guys see this. So I'm gonna kick with the back leg. So I'm gonna switch, I'm gonna go southpaw for a second. So I wanna turn this foot over. The front foot, I wanna turn the foot over. And then as the foot's coming up, I want to bring this here. At the same time, I want to pivot and bring this knee up like this, okay? Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, with hook kick, how are you gonna be able to do that? You gotta come around your opponent, right? This is why I tell people, practice straight leg kicks. Straight leg kicks, you can do anything. They can come from anywhere. Straight leg kicks can be round kick, side kick, hook kick, whatever, right? So if I'm coming up here, straight leg hook kick, sorry. I'm coming up with my leg straight like this. Even when it's coming over, I'm still pivoting. And then I'm coming over here to this side, okay? So I'm going here. Like I said, I'm southpaw. I'm kicking with my back leg for right now. I want to come up. I told you. So every time I'm kicking, regardless of what I'm doing, whether it's round kick, side kick, hook kick, I have to pivot and turn my hips over. That's how I'm going to get my power. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, hook kicks really aren't that much of a powerful kick. Yeah, they're not. But if you add a spinning to it, a spinning hook kick, yeah, you're going to get a lot of power out of it for sure, because now not only are you turning your hip over, you're turning your whole body and you're pivoting. So you're pivoting from here. So you're doing a step and pivot, you're turning your shoulders, and not only you have to bring your hip over to kick. So like I said, for example, you have to turn, you have to pivot, and you have to turn your hip over. Some amateurs are not doing that enough. Experts, yes, but if you got a friend that's trying to learn martial arts, send them this video, send them some video of somebody explaining it. Like, it's, you guys are going to hurt yourself long term by not pivoting. I see people not pivoting their foot over. You're gonna hurt yourself, man. So I can't say this enough. So let's say the next thing I'm gonna do is side kick. So front kick is easy. I mean, front kick is just here, whatever. I'm not really gonna get into that. That's mainly just like really just snapping your knee. And I hope you guys know, matter of fact, I'll get into it. I hope you guys know to kick with the ball of your foot. Unless you have flexibility, then you can kick with your heels. What do I mean by that? Okay, I want to kick, take one shoe off. If I don't have flexibility, when I'm doing a snap kick or a front kick, I'm aiming for this part right here. I'm aiming for the chin, or I'm aiming for the solar plex. So most times, here, I want to aim right there. So trying at this bag like that. I want to aim right here, okay? Let's say this is the person's solar plex right here. I want to aim it to where I can, like I said, I got my toes pointed up, and I want to aim there, okay? But let's say if I have flexibility, most women have flexibility more than men out there. So if I do have flexibility, then I would try to kick with my heel. But that takes flexibility and practice, accuracy, all that. If I can kick with my heel and I have flexibility, then I'm aiming for the chin. Then I'm going to try to come straight up like that. Okay, I'm going to try to come straight up towards the chin. Notice when I'm doing it, I'm pointing my toes back like this, and I want to kick with the heel of my foot. Like I said, you kick with the heel of your foot, whether you got shoes on, boots, whatever. Ladies, heels. Think about how dangerous that is to kick somebody right there in the chin or the throat. You got heels on, right? You do that, you aim right there for the neck, using the heel of your foot. So here, I can't demonstrate right there with the bag because obviously the bag goes straight up, but you get my point. You get what I'm trying to say. So like I said, that's just with the front kick. The next kick is going to be side kick. So side kick right here. I want to do the same thing, but you want to chamber your side kick. So like I said, like everything else, I want to pivot over. Yeah, I want to pivot my foot over. And then here's a perfect example. Let's say this is a table, right? The dip bar is a table. So I want to pivot, and I want to bring my leg over. Okay. And then I want to chamber here, and I want to kick back. So that's actually a perfect example. So I want to bring my leg over the dip bar. So here, like that. Imagine that. You see like how I'm pivoting, how when I'm bringing this knee up, this foot is pivoting at the same time. So I'm going here. Like that. Now, if it's a straight leg kick, because that's not a straight leg side kick, a straight leg side kick will come up like this, okay? And then it's going to pivot at the last second. Here, and then I'm going to shoot straight out. So straight leg side kick will look like this. It would go from here, like that. That's what I said, side kicks, you won't see coming. Like literally side kicks are coming up like this. If I'm kicking towards the camera and I'm here, like that. Regular side kick will be like, you see the difference in between how I brought the side kick over here and then I kicked out versus straight leg side kick. I'm here and it's coming straight towards you. You don't know what it's going to be until the last second. That's why I say like practice straight leg kicks, practice straight leg kicks. They're so useful. And then, like I said, apply that to your spin kicks, your regular kicks, and it will help, man. Like just, the technique is so important. Whether you're building your legs up doing squats, You know, you're eating high protein and put more mass behind the speed, so you have maximum power. That's the science too behind it. That's another thing too, if you want to get into that. But like I said, make sure you're turning your hips over and you're pivoting, man. So that way you're not hurting yourself. That's the main thing. That's the message I'm trying to get to. It's not about you want more power. You want better technique, especially if you're doing forms like katas, like a lot of people are doing. That's important, but the main thing is don't hurt yourself. So pivot, turn your hips over, and good luck to you. See you guys next time.